Happy 18th of December. So I've just brought my small child. I have a son who's 2.5. I've just brought him for his midday nap. And in fact, I've just come out of a cave. So we were reading books with a flashlight underneath the cover. and Before it was a cave, we were sitting in a car. We were driving on going to vacation. Was his imagination. And before that, we were walking up the mountains, walking up the stairs, actually, but it was mountains, and we were struggling all the way up to get to the bedroom. And there's I keep since he started to speak more and tell his own stories. I have the great privilege to be able to go on traveling many times of the day and experience things that I normally wouldn't experience. So this is a great joy, and I thought I'd take this moment, this as an inspiration to do a small video on imagination. So imagination is a subject that is very close to my heart. It's something that was a very important part of my childhood, the possibility to hear stories and imagine stories and tell stories myself. I loved listening to my grandfather. He was an amazing storyteller. He used to tell us the stories he read himself as a child and retell them and combine them in the most fantastic ways. And me and my brothers, we could sit there for hours listening to him, and I still have such strong images from these stories. And then I think I lost a bit track of it when I got a bit older, and as an adult, I rediscovered the power of imagination when I started to be more interested in theater. And so going to theater pieces and being very touched by them, and noticing with time that the kind of theater that touched me the most were the sort of reduced theater, not the sort of big scenography with a lot of special effects, but the theater where there was very little things on stage, and just one person speaking, telling something, or moving, or telling something through words or through movements, and where there was a lot of space for my own imagination to start to work with what the impulses that it was given. And I found it so amazing again how I afterwards, like coming out from that kind of piece, a dance piece or a theater performance, how I was sure, like one part of me, my imaginative part, was completely sure that I'd seen it, and the other part of my brain or of my was telling me no. Like it was, I mean, of course there was only this one person on stage or a few person on stage moving, but this imaginative part of me had experienced much more, and had really been traveling and seeing these different situations, and met all these different kinds of people, all the people that this person had told about or had played out. And it was something that I found so fascinating, and that I tried to discover what is this imagination. And since I started started doing body work about 9 years ago now, um, it was also some part that sort of came into there, the possibility of working with images, and also what effect imagination has on our body. And imagination, I mean also, something that is not like using something that is not in reality is really there, but that still then affects our mood, our emotions, our thoughts, our body. So I'm interested in how do we imagine not only with our head but actually with our whole body, and what effect does imagination have on our body? Like how does it affect our body? Um, and So a few days ago, I got a very good example for this, or a colleague of mine was using a very good example effective example in a seminar that she was giving. It's imagining a lemon. So like imagining that you're taking a lemon and you're holding it in your hand and you're feeling the texture of the lemon, and then you cut through the lemon with a knife, and you're already feeling a bit of the smell of the lemon, and you bring it up to your nose and you smell it a bit closer. You smell the peel, you smell the juice, and then you open your mouth and you put the lemon in your mouth and you bite into it, and feeling this the texture of it and the juice. So doing that and noticing what does that do with your body, noticing directly, like even though you don't have a lemon in your mouth, what it does with you, like how this sort of how you can feel, you can't feel this, you can't actually feel the taste of the lemon, but the effect that the taste would have on you is still there. So like that sort of pulling together the feeling of the throat, um, feeling in your, maybe in your belly. For me, it's very much in my belly, almost like my legs are pulling together a bit, tensing. I don't know how it is for you, but it would be interesting to hear. And you can also feel it. How you imagine with your whole body, or how your body reacts to imagination. So let go of the lemon, let it digest. You can stretch out a little bit if you want to move. As you hear, my voice is still a bit affected by having had a cold, the end of a cold, being at the end of the cold. So eating a lemon has done me a lot of good now. I want you to imagine now that you're forced to eat something that you, and I'm sorry for putting you under this, but I'm inviting you to imagine that you're eating something that you really don't like. So you are having to eat, and it doesn't have to be something disgusting, but simply something that you don't like. For me, it would be like fish with a lot of bones in it, for example, like having to put pieces of fish in my mouth and feeling there's like small bones, and I'll stay with the fish. Whatever it is for you. So imagine you have a plate of that in front of you, and for some reason, even though you're now adult and you're not forced, like no one can really force you to eat it, or I really hope that you're not in a situation where you're forced to eat things that you don't want to eat. But imagine now that for some reason you have to eat this. So again, like with the lemon, noticing the texture. Maybe you're picking it up with your hands, or you're sticking the fork into it. You can feel the way that it's smelling. Imagine the way that it's smelling. And when you're bringing the fork closer to your mouth, closer to your nose. You open your mouth and you put it in your mouth. And you chew. And you chew, and soon you'll have to swallow. So pay attention for a moment. What does this with your body? Like, what parts of your body are reacting? So obviously, if you watch the screen, if you're not sort of close your eyes, and you'll notice that directly my eyes go together for me. And definitely my throat is constricting, it as if it doesn't want to let this kind of food through. So it's closing up. My mouth is pulling together. I feel a real like pain here from the tension pulling together. My belly is pulling together again, like with the lemon, but also different to the lemon, because the lemon was somehow, unless it's the worst thing you can imagine to eat. Like for me, it's still, it was something alive, like something like exciting, alive, even though like ooh, it's coming soon. But here for me, like when I'm imagining something, to having to eat something that I don't want to do, it's almost as if my chest is also pulling together, my around my heart. It's like closing there. Something is the imagination of being forced, or like being in a situation where I have to do something, like I have to eat something that I don't want to eat. It's really like I really feel with my whole body, and my whole body is sort of protecting itself against it. So whatever you're feeling, whatever this imagination has done with you, see if you can let it go again. So breathe. Notice that you're here. Notice that there's nothing that you have to eat that you don't want to eat. And see what does your body want to do now? How does it want to release this image or this restriction? Maybe it even wants to move very big. Or maybe your voice wants to come in a bit and sort of push it away. So you can hear me, but I can't hear you, and nobody else can hear you, depending on in which room you're in. Maybe you can even like, oh. Like breathe it out of you. And feel how this is your body. And this is where you are now, and this is your adult body, and you don't have to, you can resist eating anything that you don't want to eat. And you can decide. So now imagine, instead of that, imagine the most delicious thing you can imagine. So your favorite thing to eat in the world. Something that smells really good, that tastes really good, that is just full of goodness. What is the best thing you can imagine? And imagine that you have this possibility to have exactly that, exactly the way that you like it the most. And imagine a plate or a glass or whatever suits what it is Imagine you have that in front of you, and you can smell it. Maybe it's a fruit, maybe it's chocolate, maybe it's a specific kind of soup or dish, or maybe it's something to drink. And it might be that it smells strongly. It might be that it smells very, very, very slight. And you bring it up to your nose. You smell it more closely. You touch it with your hands, or you have the spoon in your hand, or you have your hands on the glass or on the cup. And you open your mouth and you feel it with your lips, and you put it in your mouth, and you take in the whole taste of it with your mouth. You taste it with your tongue. Maybe it's something that is melting, or maybe it's something that you need to chew. You feel, and you can swallow and feel what it does to your body. Like, how does your body react, or how does it feel imagining eating something really, really good, something that you feel good with your whole body? Which parts of the body do you feel when you imagine that? For me, it's a completely different feeling than imagining eating fish with bones. It's like I feel as if I have space. I feel like it's opening up to the sides that I have. That I'm connected again. Around my heart, it feels warm, or down towards my belly. It's almost as if I've really swallowed something very yummy that is going down towards my stomach now at the moment. So in a lot of sort of visualizations, we also use sort of favorite places, the possibility to travel to your favorite place and feel being there. Like what is that like, being at the sea, or sitting in the sun on the cliffs, or in the sand, or going into the cold water, or swimming, or climbing, or the possibility to really travel with your imagination, and to really bring a different kind of feeling to, like a different kind of physical feeling to your body. So on the one hand, your body is actually helping you, or I would say that, at least I would say that most of us, maybe there's differences. Like, I mean, we think in different ways, and some people are very close to sort of seeing in colors, or tasting things, like even like tasting sounds, or so we do react in, like we do it in different ways. But this, like, imagining with your whole body, or reacting with your whole body to things that you imagine, that's I think that's something, I would claim that it's something that we all have, and that it's a great possibility to bring back a sense of safety for us, like to bring us back to a place where we feel connected, and where we feel held, or safe, or inspired, or like the possibility to travel to the space or to this room where we feel safe or inspired, and that's a great resource that we have as human beings. And on the other hand, the other side of this is that that it also means that when we keep imagining sort of keep imagining bad things happening, or keep being in situations where we feel very constricted, it's something that we also do with our whole body. And what effect does that have? Like if we keep forcing ourselves to be in a situation where we're feeling bad, where we're constricting ourselves, where our body is protecting itself the whole time, so like pulling together or like being stressed the whole time, what effect does this have on us? And I think a lot of the times we don't feel it anymore after a while. We just feel that we are not feeling good, but we don't feel specifically what the body is doing. So the possibility of just being aware of this, like I'm not saying like positive thinking and bring yourself away to like rest in a bad situation and go in your head to a good situation, but both the possibility of feeling like with the imagination of eating something that we don't want to eat, to really feel what does it do to us, and the possibility of maybe even like with the exercise with tension, the possibility to be aware, oh, this is something is making me not feel so well, and I feel it because I feel that my shoulders are pulling up. I feel that my throat is pulling together. I feel that my chest is closing. I feel my stomach pulling together, and just noticing that, and then seeing if you can drop that for a moment and just be aware of the situation, and then to see, like, let yourself be freer, and then to see what you want to do about it, or what you want to do with the situation, what is possible to somehow to get more present in it, and also the possibility to, when you're safe or when you're there, the possibility to bring yourself to a place, or to be able to imagine a place that is good for you, in order to digest whatever is bad, to be able to let go of this, and to be in a good place to to regenerate in some way. So this is a very it's a long video, but it's the exploration of imagination is extremely interesting and complex, and at the same time very basal. It's something basic, something that we all somehow, I would say, that we all know. And I would be really interested to hear what kind of experience you have with that, and your explorations with it. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again tomorrow.